What is going on, friend? Today I am going to tell you about the toxic toad. So, those toxic toads that are out there and uh, they have a mechanism to defend themselves. So, if you bite them or if a predator bites them, they get poisoned and they die because that's the toad's mechanism to defend himself. And it's not the toad's fault, that's his nature, and the predator simply dies. It's protection mechanism that the toad use. So the thing is the same thing happens with toxic people. So people have no idea, no clue. Toxic people have no clue that they are toxic. So you shouldn't hate toxic people. That's the point, because they don't really know what they're doing. So it's like the toad, why would you hate the toad? If you die, maybe you didn't know that the toad was toxic, and that's why, for whatever reason, you try to eat or lick the toad, then you die. So you have to know who you're dealing with. In the case of the toad, I wouldn't try to eat, you shouldn't try to eat any animal that you find in the jungle. You should know what you're eating. It's the same thing with toxic people. You should know who you're dealing with and if that person is toxic. So in my book, Goodbye Toxic People, I tell you many ways to know how to find out if somebody's toxic. And but basically you have to trust your gut and see how these toxic people is interacting with other people. And there's so many other clues that are also listed in the book. But for example, if a person gossips with you, if she or he is gossiping with you, well, guess what? He or she's doing it behind your back about you. So that's another way to discover somebody who's toxic. And again, like I said before, is in other videos, is that toxic people are all over the place. Not only your friends, but it could be your family and your boss, your work environment. So now there is one exception that I always, everything I'm gonna say is there is an exception. Those are your kids, especially if they're minors. So none of what I say applies to your minor kids. So now, after 18, I also talk about this, the umbilical cord. If you don't cut it after 18, the umbilical cord starts rotting, and then that brings a lot of toxins to the kid for the rest of his or her life. So I would say probably it starts to rot at 18 and stops rotting at 25, and after that it's all toxins that you are going to get. Again, that doesn't mean not to see your parents again, but you have to take natural distance. Like, little birds we actually have in our home here in New Hampshire. We have a little nest, and the mom gave us 3 beautiful little blue eggs. And, just a week later, week and a half later, the little birds are gone. And not because the predator ate them, but because they need to learn how to fly. And it's the same thing for us. The thing is, like, if you have a toxic parent, they're going to try to keep you, and they don't want to let you fly because of the problems they have of being somebody who is toxic. So that's the danger of innocent poison, right? Because there is the innocence of the person who's toxic, who doesn't know he or she is toxic, and also the innocence you have believing that person is not toxic. And that, again, could ruin your life. It could ruin your marriage, and it could ruin the lives around you. So again, like I say in my book, Goodbye Toxic People, forgive them, but forget them forever. So, and the other thing I wanted to say is, like, the animals don't apologize. I have my bullet points here and on my phone, and so I don't forget the things I wanted to tell you. So animals do not apologize, and toxic people do not apologize either. It's not in their nature. My book, I wrote that it's almost impossible for toxic people to stop being a toxic person. In practice, it's impossible. In theory, it's possible. And again, we want to make a specific video about that and what I mean. But again, your only course of action with toxic people is just to part ways and get away from them. And so I think this is all I wanted to say for this video. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. We can chat about this, and hopefully I can help you out. If you're interested in checking out my book, Goodbye Toxic People, is on Amazon and all the other major book stores online. So anyway, nice chatting with you, and I hope to see you on my next video. See ya.